Hello, welcome to Green Panda Productions, and today I'm going to be talking about Awesomenauts. And the video is called Explaining My Anger because I am very mad at Awesomenauts. I love the game, and if you don't like the game, you don't like platformers or you're not playing the game right. That's my belief, because the game is full of enjoyment, but like every game, there's going to be some bad parts about it, and this is what I mostly mean, like overpowered characters, and that's what I'm going to be covering today. So hope you guys enjoy. The first naut I'm going to be covering is Leon. And Leon is a chameleon that is like a fast assassin type naut, and he can go invisible and tongue pull you, and he's very overpowered because of those abilities. First off, his invisibility. When he goes invisible, he creates a copy of himself. You can add perks for that copy to make it move around. You can make it attack, and you can increase the health on that copy. And that can really be an effective way to go about playing Leon with that copy, because it's pretty much like a second version of you, and it's very annoying. Another reason is while he's invisible, he doesn't have to do anything really. He just has to wait for an enemy to get low health and then go in for the kill. Like if you get low health and there's a Leon by and you start running away, all that Leon has to do is use his tongue pull ability, which brings you from where you were to straight close to him, where he can then start slashing you. And his tongue pull can life tap you, which give him more health, give him a bigger advantage than he already has. It can silence you, so not only are you surprised that you're being pulled away from this invisible being, you have to wait for all your abilities to reload again. So if you're trying to fight him and he has a silencing effect on his tongue, you're gonna have to wait like 2 or 3 seconds before you can even get a hit on him, and by that time you're probably gonna be dead. The reason for that is when you're low health, which is probably when a Leon is gonna attack you. When you're low health, because Leon is all opportunity based, you just wait for an opportunity and then he strikes. When you're low health, you're looking to get away, so Leon can take advantage of that with surprise. When he tongue pulls you, you're surprised, and your first initial response is to get away. And when you get away, you run away from him, and that leaves Leon behind you. And with the ability backstab with it for his slash, his melee attack, backstab can do more damage if he's behind you. So with your first initial response to run away, to flee, if you're low health, you're gonna just give him another advantage. So like 2 or 3 hits, if he's got his backstab and his slash max damage, 2 or 3 hits and you're dead, because you really can't do anything against Leon. And it's very hard to play against Leon because, like I said, you're barely gonna find Leon when you're full health. Leon is only gonna show up when he can get the advantage. Froggy G. I like Froggy G in the way he looks, the way he acts, his personality. Froggy G is a cool frog. It's Froggy G. What I don't like about him is playing against him. He's got 3 abilities. He's got his splash dive, which can do damage in an area. He's got his whirlwind, and then his gun, pretty much his water gun. Now with his splash dive, if he has that max damage, which a lot of Froggy G's do, that can really inflict damage, and he can also stun you with that, which leaves you open for his whirlwind sprint, or not his whirlwind sprint, his whirlwind. But also with his splash dive, it's like a shield bearer. He can't take any damage while doing his flash dive. So if say you're Raylene and you're about to snipe, if you're on the very last second you're about to snipe and he uses his splash dive, he's not going to take any damage from that snipe. Or if you're Coco sending one of your ball lightnings towards him and he splash dives right before you're about to detonate it, he's not going to take any damage from that. So he can pretty much he can defend against any one of your main ability, and with your main ability on cooldown, then you're at a disadvantage. And when he splash dives on you and you get stunned, Then he can use his whirlwind sprint, or his whirlwind. With his whirlwind, it can do a massive amount of damage. He has almost 2 main attacking abilities. With his whirlwind, it's like a shield. He can get a perk in for it, or he takes almost no damage in his shield, in his whirlwind, and that's also way too powerful. If you've got 2 of your abilities shielding you from attacks, then it's gonna be hard for enemies to even inflict damage on you. And also whirlwind, until you get a perk for it, it makes you slower than most enemies. Although if you get the perk to increase your speed, you're faster than most nauts. So that's another advantage to Froggy G. And Froggy G's gun, well, just like any melee attack, you can get it to attack super fast and deal a lot of damage, but that can get really annoying. See, if he splash dives on you, and then he can either whirlwind on you, which can do a whole bunch of damage while you're stunned, or he can just proceed to shoot you over and over with his water gun. And any choice he makes to either to whirlwind or shoot you, it does a whopping amount of damage. And like I said again, I think Froggy G is cool, but I think he's overpowered. I think he's kind of a more I kind of want to say noobish naut, although that's not really the right word, but I guess for now the noob naut is going to be Froggy G. Ayla. Where do I begin with Ayla? Ayla is like a 3-eyed devilish princess. Her 3 abilities are her chain whack, which is her melee ability, her rage, which is like an orb of electrical death, and then her evil eye. Her evil eye is her most damaging ability, and her rage is just annoying. With her evil eye, she can, if she hits it, if she gets a contact with you, it can do a whole bunch of damage, and it can slow you down, and it can do like a dot, I think. And one of the things is, when it slows you down, you can't run away. It slows you down so much, and then that slow effect, and then that damage on top of that, it's very hard to get around Ayla without being hit with that. And when she slows you down with that evil eye, then she can hit you with her rage, and her rage pretty much makes her levitate, and she can go wherever. But off the bat, right starting, she takes a little bit of damage. Like the longer she uses it, the more damage she's gonna take. Although it's easy to get a perk to actually, well, if she's doing damage to other, like a droid or even a naut, the damage she's doing can heal her. So she can get a healing effect for ability that's initially supposed to inflict pain on her. But no. And also she can get a perk for her rage to not do almost any damage to herself. So not only is she not doing damage to herself, but she's healing herself with an ability that initially hurts her. And now with the rage, she can follow you. She can get a perk where she's very fast in rage, so she can follow you wherever you go. And if she doesn't even get that perk, she can hit you with the evil eye first, which slows you down, and then she can hit you with that rage. And that rage does a lot of damage. And if say you're a Leon, and you've got, or no, that's not a good example. Yeah, let's use Leon. If you're a Leon and you don't have any, and your main attack isn't ranged, you got that slashing, she can just be above you, and then you'd have to slash upwards, which is kind of more difficult than slashing normally, just to hit her. And until you figure that out, she's gonna be regaining her health, and it's really not cool. Like, I don't understand that, really. She's very overpowered. And also with her chain whack, she can heal herself every successful chain whack she gets, and it can do a lot of damage, hit fast like any melee attack can. But that's Ayla, and I mean, come on. The next naut is Vinnie, or Vinnie and Spike. And Vinnie and Spike is like this pufferfish that can fly around and just come down and wreak havoc. Vinnie has a bubble effect, which is his melee or his main attack or his default attack. Then he has his spike dive and his smoke screen. With his smoke screen, he can blind you, and he can get this thing where if you're blinded by it, he can get solar every second you're blinded, and enemy or ally nauts in the smoke screen can run faster, sometimes take less damage, or even get healed. And this is kind of annoying because it's kind of like an escape with Vinnie, although I don't see it doesn't seem right to me that he has such an easy way to escape with smokescreen. But his second ability, his spike dive, is my main reason why Vinnie is overpowered. His spike dive can do extra damage while he has 150 solar or more, which is kind of often. I have 150 or more. Vinnie, his spike dive can do a lot of damage. You can get extra spikes that come off that do more damage, and that's very annoying. With his bubble, he can get it to where it hits. It doesn't just hit the thing in front of him. It can hit multiple targets. Can shoot fast, increase the range on it, and do a lot of damage. Vinnie, I don't like you, Vinnie. I don't like using you that much. But another reason why Vinnie is not fun to me, because since he can fly, he can just stay above the action, spike dive down to inflict pain, die, and then go fly away again, maybe get some health or whatever. But Vinnie, you need to stop. Coco. Now, Coco is a hard one for me to put in here, but I have seen recently that she is kind of overpowered. I do have 2 videos on her, and I don't normally like using overpowered nauts. But at the time, I didn't think she was overpowered. I just thought I was kind of just better with Coco than most. But Coco is overpowered now. I've seen that because she doesn't really need skill to play. Her ball lightning, blaze, and her shock. Her shock is like her melee, and it can regain her health, slow down the enemy, and can be faster and do more damage. But also her blaze can do a whole bunch of damage. You leave this trail of blaze on the floor, and if the enemies get caught in the blaze, they can get slowed down, and it can do a good amount of damage. Also, she can when she activates blaze, she gets speed increase while she has it activated. Also with Coco, her ball lightning is max damage is 60, I think, and you can get it to where her lightning is kind of like a ball she sends out, and she can detonate it at any time she wants with the same button, and if you're in that close to the ball, you get inflicted. And it can knock you back. You can get a perk to increase the knockback. You can get a perk where it leaves wherever the ball goes, it leaves blaze behind it, a small line of blaze, which I've seen also to be overpowered. Also, it can blind you, which is a big one. But the main thing about the lightning, which kind of makes her overpowered, is it can go through walls. Her lightning ball can go through walls, which means if you're taking cover behind your turret, if you've just gotten hit a couple times, you're taking cover behind your turret, she can send her ball through the turret and hit you, which is kind of why people say she's overpowered, and why I'm agreeing. I regret having to put Coco up here, and come on, let's be honest, she's a Twi'lek. Look at her Leku. Come on, she's a Twi'lek. But all in all, she's on my list of overpowered nauts. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you agree with me with choices I've picked, and if not, explain why in the comments. But this wasn't to offend anybody if those happen to be your favorite. It was just my belief of the nauts that are just a little bit better than most. But if you liked the video, leave a like, leave a comment if you have a suggestion on the next video. But thanks for watching. You've been watching Green Panda Productions, and see you later.